By this point, you've likely seen our coverage, or someone else's, of the HP Dragonfly Pro Chromebook. It's been in the public eye since early January at CES, and it's been in my hands for just over a month at this point, so I feel like many of you watching this video right now kind of know what we're dealing with here. This is a Chromebook like no other, and in nearly every way possible, it stands head and shoulders above the rest. I've had to stay pretty tight-lipped about it for weeks now, so I'm glad to finally get to share with you all the reasons that this Chromebook is as close to the perfect device that we've ever reviewed. When we first heard about the Dragonfly Pro a few weeks before CES 2023, we were definitely intrigued. The specs, the look, the simple approach to the configurations all made us pretty curious about this Chromebook leading up to our time in Vegas, and a few minutes of hands-on time at CES solidified those intuitions. And not long after that, we got to head up to New York for a reviewer's workshop and learned even more about this unique Chromebook, confirming what I'd hoped for about the Dragonfly Pro from the start. This isn't just another Chromebook. This one is special. So for a Chromebook that is this awesome, I don't want to get lost in regurgitating all the specs. They're all top-notch and they're all impressive, but the real magic of the Dragonfly Pro lies in how it feels to use it, not in a spec sheet. So let's get that stuff out of the way right off the bat. We're going to pop them up on the screen, and if you want to pause and kind of look through that list, you can do so, but here's the rundown. Like I said, it's an impressive list, and if you're looking for power, great battery life, a great screen, a great camera, fantastic speakers, you've come to the right place. But as we've seen time and time again, a killer spec sheet doesn't always make for a killer Chromebook. There's more to it, and we all know that. We all know the feeling of picking up an electronic device and really feeling the care that was put into crafting it. If you've ever picked up something like a MacBook, a Surface laptop, or a Pixelbook, you know what I'm talking about here. There's just an attention to detail that puts those types of devices into their own category and makes them fan favorites across the board. It's what I'd like to call like the last 10%. It's these small little details, not a spec sheet, that really make a $999 Chromebook worth the money through and through. So what are those little things exactly? Well, that's what I want to spend our time on with this device. The things HP took care to include that make the user experience go from pretty good to wow. And it starts with a close collaboration with Google. You see, Google has, for the time being at least, exited the Chromebook market. As the company that works with all OEMs on all Chromebooks, Google only makes their own devices when necessary to steer the market in one way or another. We've talked about that at length before, but devices like the Pixelbook were built to encourage OEMs to go and do likewise, and they've largely worked. And as the market has matured over the years, Google gets to shift to being a deeply invested partner instead of a competitor, and that's honestly where they want to be. For the Dragonfly Pro Chromebook, this partnership is more evident than ever, and HP and Google both are quick to trumpet the collaborative effort that was necessary to build the Dragonfly Pro. While every Chromebook on the market needs Google's check of approval, the Dragonfly Pro goes way, way deeper with this partnership. We're told that HP's John Groden called Google's John Miletus with an idea to build the best Chromebook ever made, and thus began this 2-year process of crafting what would become the HP Dragonfly Pro Chromebook. Between Google's best software engineers and the best minds at HP, the teamwork clearly paid off, and the Dragonfly Pro Chromebook is the end result of all of that work. But all of that collaboration talk just sounds nice if the end product doesn't actually feel different than those that have come before. And trust me on this one, the Dragonfly Pro Chromebook feels intentional, considered, and crafted from top to bottom. And it all starts with the build quality. Not only does this device feel sturdy and look great, every piece that makes up the chassis was precision built specifically to make that a reality. The lid, for instance, is CNC milled and all by itself is nearly impossible to bend. The crafted aluminum portion that houses the keyboard and trackpad is a similar story, with the bottom portion made of a magnesium alloy being used to reduce the weight and help with thermals. These materials in manufacturing processes weren't used because they were just sitting around in something that HP already does. They were done with purpose to build a laptop that feels strong, feels cohesive, and firm while remaining really functional too. The screen is a custom panel, not something off the shelf from a prior endeavor. It's 100% sRGB coverage is great, but the wildly bright 1200 nits also gives you this ability to work outside with ease, making this the best road warrior Chromebook you can buy. And to get this level of brightness, HP's engineers had to design a custom LED backlight to work with this display panel, and the end result is honestly shocking. 1200 nits isn't just a marketing term. This display is crazy bright, it's colorful, and just a treat to look at. And beneath that staggering screen is a custom keyframe that feels insanely good to type on, with great travel, a satisfying click, and just enough auditory feedback to keep your rhythm when you're typing while not annoying everybody around you. It has an RGB backlight as well that has two great features. It's bright enough to actually enjoy all of those colors in any lighting condition, and it can auto-adapt to your selected background. In line with Google's Material U design language that's on the way to Chromebooks soon, you can set up your keyboard to light up with a complementary color based on whatever background you choose. It's a pretty cool trick. And then there's the front-facing 8-megapixel camera that looks great in all sorts of lighting conditions and can adapt its exposure to make sure you look great in calls or with on-screen recordings. And while it's not phone level, the calls I've been making look great. They keep my skin tones really natural, and it avoids blown out shots even when I've got my tricky setup by the window at my desk. It's really a relief to have a solid, reliable camera right there on your Chromebook every time you need it. There's also the inclusion of a fingerprint scanner that's as fast as you could possibly hope for, making sign-in quick and easy and flawless every time. But it doesn't stop there. To the left and right of that keyboard lie the best speakers I've ever heard on a Chromebook, or any laptop for that matter. They are loud as hell and full too. My wife and I actually binged the last 4 episodes of Netflix's Dead to Me in bed on our anniversary getaway, and the experience was wildly immersive. With this screen and that audio, watching content just on this device alone isn't just a passable experience. It's actually preferable, and it's freaking awesome. I've spent the past few years at this point lauding the quality and volume of the Pixelbook Go speakers, but in a side-by-side comparison, the new king of Chromebook speakers is quite clear. More depth, more high-end, and far more volume, these speakers set a new bar that likely won't be beat anytime soon. I'm frequently blown away by them, and for content and meetings both, this is the most delightful Chromebook audio I've had the pleasure of using. They're just amazing. And last but not least, in the hardware department, we have the return of the Haptic trackpad. This time around, HP has really nailed in the feel, and I basically forgot the fact that this trackpad surface doesn't actually move. With the Elite Dragonfly, I liked its haptics, but with this one, I love them. The click is firm and reassuring no matter where you press on the trackpad surface, and with this setup, you're never going to have to worry about getting a faulty trackpad on your device or worry whether or not you're going to wear out that nice click over the years of your ownership of it. Additionally, the trackpad gives you some haptic feedback when using things like virtual desks, giving you a small bump whenever you move between your desks and when you've reached the beginning or the end of your entire desk layout. There's also a little buzz that you get when you drag a window to either side for split screen layouts, and though these physical cues aren't by any means required, they're just a nice touch. And that's really what this Chromebook's all about. Each of these hardware additions adds to the overall experience, and they aren't just bolted on for no good reason. HP clearly listened to their users and built a device that has a bunch of cool tech and gadgets, but also uses all of them to make your experience memorable every time you pick it up to use it. With all we've already covered, this Chromebook is an easy recommend, but HP is going even further, making waves in the Chromebook space by offering users a 24/7 dedicated helpline, a diagnostic tool, and accidental damage protection all rolled into one. It's called the HP Support Assistant, and it's a PWA built right into the Dragonfly Pro Chromebook that gives you access to help via phone or chat whenever you need it. And the people on the other end are trained for this Chromebook specifically, so you don't have to worry about getting in a support chat with someone who only understands problems with Windows devices. This is a white glove service for Chromebook users specifically, and it's a breath of fresh air. Buying this device device gets you a year's worth of that support for free, and then it's $10.99 a month after that for an additional 3 years if you want it. That $10.99 a month also gets you that accidental damage protection for up to 3 years and or 3 full replacement devices, whichever comes first. It's a comprehensive help and protection plan like we've never had before in a Chromebook, and I think I speak for many people when I say it's about freaking time. Look, for $999, you shouldn't buy a Chromebook and have to hope it doesn't get damaged. You shouldn't have to hope that something doesn't fail on the 366th day of ownership. And you shouldn't be left alone on an island when you can't figure out a simple or a complex problem with the hardware or Chrome OS software. For $999, you should have support, and HP is offering it up in a way that is viable for tons of users. A monthly fee that can be canceled at any time keeps the sticker shock away at the time of purchase and can make you feel far more confident moving forward with buying an expensive Chromebook if you choose to pick up one of these. And to be perfectly candid with you, you really should consider it. While there are small nags for a certain set of users, like the lack of a convertible form factor and missing USI pen support, those things are more like preferential differences than problems. If you want a Chromebook, not a tablet or convertible or detachable, there's almost nothing to knock on this device. It's wild to say that, but it's just true. This is as close to the perfect Chromebook that I've ever reviewed. So the $999 asking price, framed in that sort of light, feels right. There aren't a bunch of odd configurations or options either. There's a ceramic white and sparkling black color choice, and that's it. If you decide to buy the Dragonfly Pro Chromebook, you're getting the entire experience. And that's a breath of fresh air too in a world where many Chromebooks come with so many different configurations that you never know exactly what you're getting. HP has crafted something truly special with this one, and I have zero hesitation in telling you to snag one if a premium piece of hardware matters to you. This is the Pixelbook experience I've been asking for, and many of you have been hoping for from Google. It's just not branded as Pixelbook. But make no mistake, Google's fingerprints are all over this one, and it's superb in all the ways you would want if you've been waiting for that next Google-made Chromebook. For the crowd that is sold on Chrome OS and looking for the best possible hardware to run it on, you've found your Chromebook. But guys, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, head down there, hit that subscribe button, and be sure to ring the notification bell as well if you'd like to be alerted when we make future videos just like this one. Until next time, we'll see you.